I just realized that you can't hear me because when I turn the phone off so you can see my screen, you can't hear me because the microphone isn't working. So let's go over that again. We've got Santel versus the debuting Dirty Dick Reigns tonight. Mae Young will face Cora Livingston. Santo will be facing Red Berry. Thesz, an up-and-comer in the National Wrestling Commission, will face off against Joe Stecher, former champion. And for the NBBW World Junior Heavyweight title, we're going to see champion William Muldoon defend his title against Gorgeous George with Sherry Dupree. And those are the matches for this evening. So we should be back to the mat now. And let's get going with our first match, which is going to pit Santel in the blue corner against Dirty Dick Reigns in the red corner. Let's get our charts here. That should be everything we need for this card. And let's roll for some initiative. Reigns is in the red corner, as I mentioned. Santel in the blue corner. Santel is a 4-1. Reigns is a 6-3. Reigns has a special mechanic where he can add 1 to the potency of certain moves, but he also has to roll for disqualification on them. So that's pretty. That's a unique feature of the Dick Reigns bootleg. And Santel, of course, is just your run-of-the-mill Santel card, which we have used here multiple times. So let's get underway. And it looks like Santel will be starting us off. And Santel with a waistlock takedown, and that is a power move. And Santel does not have the power, so Dick Reigns able to get around that. And will be rolling on level 2 offense. And Dick Reigns with a head and arm throw, and that is a level 3 move. And that's going to put Santel down. And then Dirty Dick Reigns going to throw him out of the ring. And Santel is a C rating. So here we go. We've got out of the ring C. And that is a roll of 9. You collide violently with your opponent, sending you falling out of the ring, where you strike your head on the floor. Roll countout. If you are not counted out, you manage to crawl back into the ring. Opponent rolls on level 3 offense. So let's see if Santel is counted out here after violently falling out of the ring. And he is not going to be counted out. He is going to get a fatigue, though. And Dirty Dick Reigns on level 3. And Dick Reigns going to throw him back out of the ring. And that is a 5C. You tumble through the ropes to the floor. The opponent holds the ropes up for you to return to the ring. The opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So Dirty Dick Reigns adds Santel to the floor, then lets him back in the ring. JT is joining us in the chat. Welcome to you. And we've got Dick Reigns rolling on level 2. And Dick Reigns with a hidden choke with tag rope. And this is one of the moves that he can increase in potency, so it would become, it is normally a 3, it would become a 3 add 1 if we want to roll his disqualification of 6. Sure, Dick Reigns, why not? He was the king of getting disqualified, so. And he is not disqualified, so that was a 3 add 1 maneuver. And Santel is now going to roll on level 3 defense, and that's 3, that's a pin. So he is rolling, he needs 4 or better to kick out, and he gets it. And the match continues. And Dick Reigns with a bulldogging headlock, 3, and that's going to leave Santel down. And Dirty Dick Reigns, another bulldogging headlock. And this one, Santel is going to manage to grab the ropes and claw himself back up. But he is hurt. And Dirty Dick Reigns grabs him in that headlock again. and nails him with a bulldogging headlock one more time, and that is going to put Santel down. Year 4 is still the 1930s. Yes, this is actually the first. I bet until 1950 I'm splitting the decades up in half. So year 4 is actually the first half of the 1940s, or 1930s. So 1930 to 1934, and then it'll be 1935 to 1939 in the next one, in year 5. So we're getting close to the end of the 30s. And Dirty Dick Reigns with a head and arm throw on Santel, and that's going to hurt Santel. And now he's got that hidden choke with the tag rope again. I am going to roll up in potency, which means he's going to roll disqualification 6, and with a roll of 9 he is not disqualified. So Santel adding 1 to his fatigue and rolling on level 3 defense, and he is down. And Dirty Dick Reigns, and Reigns with a 4 count choke on the ropes. This is a 3 add 1, and this is also one of those moves that I can choose to increase its potency by rolling disqualification 6, which I am going to do, and then this will become a finisher 0 if he is not disqualified, and he is not. So Santel rolling his pin here. He needs 6 or better to kick out, and he gets it. And Dirty Dick Reigns, who has been in control for most of this match, remains on the attack. And now Dick Reigns rolls a 4, which is another bulldogging headlock, and that one slams Santel's head into the mat. He is down. And now Dirty Dick Reigns, once again, with that 4 count choke on the ropes. I am going to roll the disqualification 6, because why not? Dick Reigns was a big proponent of getting disqualified. He used to say that it was as good as a win. But he's not disqualified. So that is going to be a level 0 finisher, so he's going to need to roll 7 or better to kick out of this one. And he does. He rolls an 8, so Santel able to kick out. And Dick Reigns back on the attack. And Reigns going to throw him out of the ring. Santel is a C ring rating. C6 out of the ring. You tumble through the ropes to the floor. The opponent holds the ropes open for you. And you get back in the ring and they roll on level 2. So Dick Reigns rolling on level 2 offense here. And Dick Reigns with another head and arm throw. Or nope. I'm reading from the wrong dice. Dick Reigns going to throw him into the turnbuckle. And Santel has a B turnbuckle rating. B7 into the turnbuckle. And B7. The referee orders a clean break. The opponent backs out. And you step out of the corner. The opponent steps to the side and grabs an outside single leg takedown. Opponent rolls on level 2. So Dick Reigns with an outside single leg, showing that not only is he dastardly, he's also technically proficient. And now Dick Reigns with a full body slam. And that is going to hurt Santel. Santel really not being able to get any offense in this match so far. And we've got Reigns throwing Santel back into the turnbuckle. And this is 7, so B7. It's the same outcome as last time. Reigns steps to the side, grabs the leg, takes him down, and Santel is hurt. And Dirty Dick Reigns into the turnbuckle one more time. He's going to roll up. I'm sick of rolling on that chart. So now he's got the eye gouge, and that's going to hurt Santel. And Dirty Dick Reigns with a full body slam. That hurts Santel as well. And another full body slam. And this one has Santel dazed as he pops back up. And Dick Reigns with an eye ripper. He is going to... This is another one that I can choose to increase the potency of by rolling disqualification 6, which I will do. And he is not disqualified. So this is a level 3 move as Santel rolls on level 3. And he is down. And Dirty Dick Reigns. Once again, rolling on level 3. This is that 4-count choke on the ropes. 3 add 1. If I do a disqualification 6 roll, it is a level 0 finisher. So I'm going to do that. And he is disqualified. So Dick Reigns, looking for the vicious attack, gets himself disqualified, and adds Santel is your winner over Dirty Dick Reigns by disqualification. Let me go mark that down in the record book here on in my nice Obsidian program here. And so what do we got here? We've got Santel defeats Reigns by DQ. Reigns refused to release the choke. And that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 3-star matchup. And let's go to fatigue info. Santel had 6, and Reigns had 0. Reigns pretty much dominated that one. So, not too bad for Dick Reigns on his debut. Let's go down here and put in the star rating. Fantastic. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I apologize. I'm just trying to mark all this stuff down so that I have good records of everything that happens. And we're on to our second match. Mae Young versus Cora Livingston. JTS, have you been using Obsidian for a long time? Do you recommend? Yes, I've been using Obsidian now for pretty much since the onset of this promotion, or this like Legends playthrough, this universe, which was about a year ago now. And I've put a lot of work into like my templates and formatting it and getting everything to where it needs to be. I've got a lot of like automatic tables and stuff like that in there. I really like Obsidian for record keeping. It doesn't do anything a spreadsheet can't do, but it looks a lot nicer than a spreadsheet in my opinion. And it's a lot easier to work with, for me at least, than a spreadsheet. If you work with Excel every day in your job, then maybe Excel might be the way to go, because I'm sure you can get a nice looking spreadsheet going and and everything you need out of that. But if you don't use Excel, I recommend just using Obsidian. It's nice, it's easy. Both me and Grant use it, so you can ask questions about it in the Filsinger Games Fans Discord, and we're usually more than happy to help you out, so I definitely recommend it. Alright, so Mae Young and Cora Livingston. In the red corner is going to be Mae Young. In the blue corner is going to be former champion Cora Livingston. Livingston is a 5-2 pin rating. Mae Young is a 6-3. So let's get them all nice and set up. And roll for initiative. And it looks like Mae Young is going to start us off. And Mae Young with a drop kick. This is an agility move. And Mae Young does have the agility, so it is going to work. And Cora Livingston is caught by that drop kick. And she is hurt. And here we see Young follow up that drop kick with a crossover knee lock on Cora Livingston. And Livingston nowhere near the rope. She's going to have to try to struggle out of this one on her own. And she's going to need a 3 or better to do so. And she gets it. And Mae Young has to release the hold, but she is still in control of the match. And Mae Young could throw Cora Livingston out of the ring. Livingston is a B ring rating. I think Young is going to roll up. So now she's throwing her into the ropes, and this one is not a choice. And Livingston has an A ropes rating, so maybe she should have thrown her out of the ring. but she's let sportsmanship get in the way. And Pops is here. What's going on, good man? Just wrestling, doing some wrestling from my National Wrestling Commission Federation. We've got Cora Livingston against Mae Young. We're in the second match, so you haven't missed too much. And Mae Young is throwing Cora Livingston into the ropes. And Livingston has an A ropes rating and has rolled a 7. So here we go. We've got the opponent backs into the ropes, and you both break clean to the applause of the crowd. Roll again for initiative. Highest roll takes over on level 2. So Mae Young wins the initiative roll and is taking over. And Mae Young with a Boston Crab on Cora Livingston. And Livingston able to get to the ropes, and Young forced to break, and Livingston is hurt. And now Mae Young with some open hand chops on Cora Livingston. And that one is going to daze Cora Livingston as Mae Young continues her attack. Young throws that drop kick again, and it connects. And Livingston once again hurt by a big drop kick from Mae Young. And Mark Ferguson is here. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. We're in our second match with Mae Young and Cora Livingston. And Mae Young just rolled a crossover knee lock to follow up that drop kick. And that is going to leave Cora Livingston down. And now Mae Young could throw her out of the ring or roll up. Mae Young going to roll up. That's not her style to do the out of the ring stuff, so rolling up a little bit here. And Young with a nice Boston Crab again on Cora Livingston. And Livingston is hurt. And now a flying hair mare from Mae Young. And Livingston says no, she just rolls through that one. Back to her feet before Young is. And she's on the attack. And Cora Livingston with a body block on Mae Young. And that one is going to leave Mae Young dazed, as these two girls continue to battle it out. And now Livingston with a go-behind takedown. This is an agility move, and she does not have the agility, so she's not able to get behind Mae Young. And Young continues the attack, or starts her attack. She's continuing an attack that she's been having all match, really. And now Mae Young with a turnbuckle whip here. And Livingston is an A on the turnbuckle, so let's see what happens. An A7 into the turnbuckle. And we've got... You are backed into the corner. As the referee orders a clean break, you grab the opponent and bull them into the corner. The tables are turned. The opponent rolls on this chart. So now Mae Young rolling on her turnbuckle chart. She is an A. And she rolls an A5. As you and your opponent are tied up, you back into the corner. The referee orders a clean break, but your opponent takes a wild swing at your head. Luckily, you duck the shot and drive into your opponent with a powerful double leg takedown. Roll on level 2 offense. So Mae Young back on the attack here. And Mae Young with a flying hair mare on Cora Livingston, and that hurts her. And now we are seeing Young with more open hand chops on Cora Livingston. And Livingston just absorbs the shots and moves forward for an attack. And now Livingston is going to whip Mae Young into the ropes. Young has a B ropes rating. Dropping my charts here. And that is going to be a B8. You and the opponent break clean. As the opponent backs up, you step towards the opponent, and she grabs you in a quick fireman's carry. Opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So So Livingston on level 2. And Livingston with a kick to the gut. And that's going to daze Mae Young. Livingston with an eye rake. And that dazes Young some more. And now we're going to see a hair mare from Cora Livingston. And Mae Young is going to counter that by rolling through the fall. And Mae Young on the attack with an eye gouge as these girls get dirty. And that's going to daze Cora Livingston. And now Mae Young throws that drop kick again. This has been a good move for her. And once again, it catches Cora Livingston, sends her careening back into the ropes and completely rocking her. She is hurt. And now Young grabs her legs, pulls her down, and locks in a Boston Crab. But Livingston too close to the rope. She's able to get free. And now Young pulls her back out farther away from the ropes and applies the Boston Crab again. Cora Livingston able to crawl her way over to the ropes and again gets free but is hurt. Or down. She's down still. She can't get up. And Mae Young with a body press. This is a choice G maneuver. So this is going to be choice G on the vintage charts. That's going to be an into the turnbuckle or a level 3 move on roll of 7 or lower plus or minus power. So I think we're going to do the turnbuckle with Mae Young here. And Cora Livingston rolls a 6. Or nope, a 7. Can't add. 7A. That is the reversal. So now Mae Young rolling on the turnbuckle chart. She rolls a 7, and she is also an A. So that is another reversal. I know you're not supposed to do multiple reversals, but I don't see any reason why. So I'm going to allow it to happen. 6. So this is a 6A on the turnbuckle from Cora Livingston. And that is the ducking of the haymaker and the double leg takedown by Cora Livingston. As Mae Young put down by Cora Livingston. And Livingston with a body block. And that is going to hurt Mae Young. And now Cora Livingston. Hammerlock and roll on Mae Young. And this leaves Mae Young down. Mae Young is going to roll out of the ring. She does have that option here. And she rolls an 11 out of the ring. These don't always make sense on the rollouts, which is why I don't generally allow them. But let's see what we can do with this one. A11 is you collide with your opponent, sending you falling out of the ring, where you strike your head on the floor. Roll count out. If you are not counted out, you manage to crawl back into the ring. Opponent rolls on level 3 offense. Considering that she was rolling out of the ring voluntarily, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So what we're going to say is that she tries to leave the ring to recatch her breath. Cora Livingston kicks her off the apron, where she falls violently to the floor. Now she needs to roll her count out, which is going to be 4 or better to get back in the ring. And she succeeds. And so now Cora Livingston on level 3. And Livingston with a leg grapevine and armbar, and Michael Brada is here. Welcome to you. And with that, this is a choice E maneuver. So let's see what choice E is on the vintage charts. Choice E is a rolling knee bar 3, which is going to work on 8 or lower plus or minus agility, or a forearm uppercut 2, which is going to work on 8 or lower plus or minus power. We're going to try the forearm uppercut, which is going to work on 7 or lower for Cora Livingston, and she does indeed just barely get it. So now Mae Young rolling on level 2 defense. And Young is hurt by that uppercut. And now Livingston with a hip roll. This is a choice D. So another choice move here. Hip lock 2, it's going to work on 8 or lower plus or minus agility. Or a crotch lift and slam, 8 or lower plus or minus power. So this is going to be 7 or lower again for a level 3 move. And she is able to get it. And now Mae Young will roll on level 3. And Mae Young with a down. So Young is down, Livingston on the attack. And now Livingston with a stranglehold. 3 add 1 disqualification. So we'll add the 1. We'll roll DQ, which is a 5. And she is not disqualified. So now Mae Young rolls on level 3 defense. And she is hurt. And Cora Livingston continues the attack with a bite to the head. And Mae Young says no and is able to push her back, push her off, and start her own rally here as Mae Young with a flying hair mare on Cora Livingston. And that throws her to the mat. She is dazed as Mae Young with an eye gouge. But Cora Livingston blocks it off and clubs her in the side of the head and takes control. And now Cora Livingston with a hair mare here. And that is going to get rolled through by Mae Young as she pops right back up and goes on the offensive with an into the ropes. So Mae Young going to send Livingston into the ropes. She's an A, so we've got an A7. Let's see what that is here. A7. This is the initiative roll, so nothing exciting happens. Livingston hits the floor, gets up, gets back in the ring, and they're rolling for initiative. And Mae Young wins and is on level 2. And now Mae Young with another flying hair mare. And Cora Livingston is dazed. And Mae Young with a forearm smash. This is a power move. She does not have the power. So Cora Livingston able to take over here as these girls are really battling it out. Livingston with a body block. And Mae Young is hurt by that body block. And now Livingston with another body block. If it works once, right? And Mae Young once again hurt. And Cora Livingston with that hip roll. This is a choice D maneuver. So let's see what she's got here. This is going to be a crotch lift and slam, which is going to work on 8 plus or minus the power, which is -1, so 7 or better. And she does not get it, so Mae Young on the attack here. And now Mae Young with a crossover knee lock on Cora Livingston. And Livingston able to get to the ropes and get herself back up, but she is obviously hurting. And Mae Young grabs both legs, takes her down, locks her in a Boston Crab. But Cora Livingston able to roll through and throw Mae Young off with the rolling motion and start a rally. And an eye rake from Cora Livingston on Mae Young. And Mae Young is going to say no to that eye rake. Moving out of the way as Livingston comes in and grapples her. And now Mae Young with a drop kick. And that is going to send Livingston back, but Livingston is going to push her to the side and take control of the match. And now Livingston going to throw Young into the turnbuckle. And this is a 9A into the turnbuckle. These ladies are definitely beating the crap out of one another. 9A. The referee orders a clean break. The opponent backs off and you step out of the corner. The opponent steps to the side and grabs an outside single leg takedown. Opponent rolls on level 2 offense. So Livingston is on level 2 here. And Livingston with a kick to the gut. And Mae Young is going to catch that boot and go on the attack. Mae Young with a flying hair mare. And Cora Livingston once again going to roll through. That hair mare has not been a very successful move for Mae Young. And now Cora Livingston with an eye rake. And once again, Mae Young going to avoid that eye rake and club Cora Livingston right in the side of the head as she walks in. And then Young, after the club to the head, Livingston falls on the ropes, and Mae Young takes that opportunity to choke her on the ropes. And that is going to leave Cora Livingston hurt and prone for more attacks. And here we go. Mae Young grabs her up. They're grappling near the ropes. And A3. You are back towards the ropes, but as the opponent steps towards you, you grab her in a dynamic upper body throw. You move into a quick cover. Opponent rolls pin. So Livingston able to throw Mae Young, and she has got a pin attempt here. This has got to be, she's got to roll 6 or greater to kick out, and she does. And Cora Livingston on the attack now. And now Livingston with a half Nelson crotch hold. And this is going to roll her into another pinning predicament. And this is a +1 finisher, so she's got to roll 8 or better to kick out. And she does not. So that is going to be a win for Cora Livingston over Mae Young in a pretty good match. So there is 1 fatigue there, and 1, 2, 3 fatigue there, plus 1 more because she just lost. So that is going to be 4 and 1. So that's 5. So that's a 2.5 star match. Let me record the results here real quick so that I don't forget what happened. We've got Livingston. Livingston defeats Young. Yeah. What is her finisher again? The half Nelson crotch hold. Info. Mae Young had 4, and Livingston had 1. That's going to make that a 2.5 star matchup. And there we go. Everything is entered. For those of you who do not know why I track fatigue or add it all up or whatever, I have a system that I use to determine retirement that bases itself off of overall fatigue. And so I like to make sure I get that pretty much right away, because that's one of the easiest things to forget when you're recording, when you're going back and recording match stuff. Unless you get it right away, you're like, oh man, how much fatigue did this person have? And so, yeah, it can be a little difficult. And our next matchup pits El Santo versus Wild Red Berry. Both up-and-comers in the light heavyweight division. Red Berry's been around for quite a while. And El Santo has been around for a little while now as well. Santo is definitely more of an up-and-comer than Red Berry, who has been, I think he's a little better than 500 so far. Berry is a 6-3, Santo is a 4-1, and let's roll for initiative. And El Santo gets the initiative here, and Santo with a back body drop. This is an agility move, and Santo definitely has the agility here. He actually has the agility and the power over Wild Red Berry. So that is going to work, and Berry is going to be hurt here by that back body drop. And Santo following it up with multiple scoop slams. And that is going to hurt Wild Red Berry. Santo is... I honestly don't know where he's from. I think he might be an upcoming or just released PDF Prime guy. I tend to print out the test cards so I can roll with them. That way I know if they have any, when I'm playing the game, I know if they have any errors or if anything seems off or, they seem too strong or whatever. So he may not be available quite yet, but I'm almost positive he's a PDF Prime guy. If you're not involved in PDF Prime, I highly, highly recommend PDF Prime. You can find information on it on the main boards in the It's Up to You Promoters section. I think the topic is just called Bootleg Group. It is a little bit pricey, but it is worth it. We're only halfway through this year's thing, and I think that PDF Prime has supplied us with something like 60 cards already this year. So, when you contact Jared and he gives you the price, it might seem expensive, but you get a lot of brand new Warner art, and it is they are play tested and the stats are good, so it is worth it. Okay, I just lost. He did a multiple scoops. I know where we are now. Santo is rolling on level 2 offense. Took me a second to remember what was just going on, but I did. Santo locks in an octopus hold on Wild Red Berry. And Berry is unable to reach the ropes. He's going to have to fight his way out of the hold. He needs a 4 or better to do so. And he does not get it. He rolled a 3. I just moved the dice. But the roll was a 3. So El Santo with an octopus hold in a very quick win over Wild Red Berry. So let's record that real quick. This is going to be Santo defeats Berry via octopus hold. I don't need that capitalized. And fatigue info. Berry had 1 and Santo had 0. And that was a dud of a match. Every once in a while, you get a crappy one. JT said he just joined PDF Prime a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not gonna lie. I love PDF Prime, and I'm not trying to knock it. I totally think it's worth it. There are some things that I would do a little differently. I don't like some of the bonus cards. I feel like some of the art is a little iffy. I know that Warner is a busy dude, and so he can't possibly do all of the bonus art. Plus, it's just bonus art. But some of that is a little bit on the side. And I think some of the cards have too many mechanics. I know some people really like that. And, I think there was a time when I really liked that and I wanted all my bootlegs to have, unique mechanics. But sometimes a card is a card is a card, and you just want something that represents the guy that without too much stuff that you have to pay attention to. And so I think a few of the cards have just been like, it's just like, okay, you probably could have just done a really basic card here and left it at that. And now that I'm on the team, the proofreading and all that stuff team, I can suggest things like that. I know Jared likes his mechanic, so maybe some things will get released in an alternate version with less of that. I don't know. We'll see. But it's super worth it and super great, so I definitely recommend it. Alright, so we're on to our 4th match, our semi-main event, which is going to pit former world champion Joe Stecher with up-and-coming world champion contender, or world title contender, Thesz. Thesz is going to be in the red corner, Stecher in the white corner, in the blue corner, and Thesz is a 5-2, and Stecher is a 5-2, so evenly matched pin ratings there. And we're going to roll for initiative. And that is going to be Lou Thesz, 6-1 there. And Thesz starting us off with a forearm shot off the lockup, and that is going to daze Joe Stecher. And now Lou Thesz front with a face lock and knee lift on Stecher. This is a power maneuver, and their power and agility are both even. So neither one of them has the advantage here, so that is going to work. And that is going to hurt Joe Stecher. Thesz follows that up by shoving Stecher into the turnbuckle. And Stecher is a B turnbuckle, so B8. And your opponent backs out of the corner and you rush towards them. They use your momentum to deliver an overhead suplex and throw you across the ring. Opponent rolls on level 3 offense. So here we go. Thesz on level 3 here. And Lou Thesz locks on the double wrist lock. The favorite of shooters everywhere. Or hookers everywhere, really. And that is going to leave Stecher down. And now Lou Thesz with a step over toe hold face lock. That again, going to leave Stecher down. He's not able to get up and really change his situation here. And Thesz with another double wrist lock. And this time, Stecher able to get to the rope and force a break. Thesz is on the attack, but he's not in an advantageous position as he used to be. That's a mouthful. And Thesz with a hammer lock. And this is a choice C maneuver. Choice C here. We could do a duck on takedown, which is a level 3 move. It's going to work on 6 or lower, plus or minus agility, which is -2, so that would be a 4 or lower. I don't think that's going to happen. Or a front chancery, which is going to be a 2 move, which is going to work on 6 or lower, plus or minus the power, which is -1, so that's a 5 or lower. I think that Thesz is just going to say to hell with it and go for the 4 or lower for level 3. If he gets it, then awesome. If not, Stecher is going to take over. Stecher on level 2. And Joe Stecher with a double wrist lock of his own. He's not as good at it as Lou Thesz, though. And Thesz is hurt. And now Joe Stecher keeps on that double wrist lock. And this is going to hurt Thesz again. And now Joe Stecher moves from the double wrist lock to an arm lock and body block. And this is going to hurt Lou Thesz one more time. But Thesz, he's got that mechanic on this hurt thing where he could roll 2 dice on 10 through 12. Thesz blocks the opponent's move and hits the Greco-Roman backdrop. So let's see if Thesz is able to backdrop his way out of this. He is not. So he is hurt. And now Joe Stecher continues to apply pressure with that arm lock and body block. And this has got Thesz down. And Joe Stecher locks on the scissors hold. This is a dangerous place to be for Lou Thesz. A +1 finisher. So he needs to roll 4 or better to kick out of this. And he does successfully. And Stecher is on the attack. And Joe Stecher going to back Thesz up dangerously close to falling out of the ring. And that is a 5 out of the ring. Thesz is a B on the ring. So 5B. Your opponent opens the ropes, but as you step through them, you take down the opponent with a leg whip. The official is frustrated by your lack of sportsmanship. Roll disqualification. If there is no disqualification, you continue the attack. Roll on level 3 offense. So Thesz ends up falling out of the ring. Stecher holds the ropes open for him. Thesz comes in, gets that leg whip, and now he is going to roll his DQ. And he is not disqualified, which means that Thesz is now on level 3 offense. And Thesz with a Thesz press on Joe Stecher. That's a level 2 finisher. So he is going to need to roll 5 or better to kick out. And he does. And Thesz on the attack. And now Thesz picks him up and nails the Greco-Roman backdrop. Another level 2 finisher. So 6 or better. And he just barely kicks out as Thesz continues his assault. And Thesz with a step over toe hold face lock, and this is going to hurt Joe Stecher. And now Thesz with a series of drop kicks. That is going to put Stecher down. And Thesz follows that up by he's not going to try to throw Stecher out of the ring or push him towards the ropes. He's going to roll up. Thesz grabs him in an airplane spin. And Stecher is in a pinning predicament here. He needs a 5 or better to kick out. And he gets it with a roll of 6. And Thesz continues his attack on Joe Stecher. And Thesz with a released powerbomb. This is a choice D maneuver. Hip lock. 8 or lower plus or minus the opponent's agility rating for a level 2. Or a crotch lift slam. 8 or lower plus or minus power for 3. So we're going to do the power, and that's going to be a 7 or lower. And he does not get it, and Stecher takes over. And Joe Stecher with a takedown and body ride on Thesz. And Thesz is hurt. And now Stecher with an eagle split. This is a choice C. So we got a duck under takedown 3. This is going to be 6 or lower plus or minus agility, which is -2. So that's going to be a 4. Or a front chancery, 6 plus or minus -1. So we're going to see 5 or better. I guess he's going to try that one. And he does not get it. So Thesz on the attack here. And Thesz punches him right in the ribs. And Stecher ignores that shot and is on the attack. And so here we go. Stecher with an arm lock and body block. This has been pretty successful for him. And this is going to leave Thesz down. Alright, Pops is out, so you have a good one. Try to get some good rest and enjoy your day tomorrow at work, if you can. Some people hate their jobs. Hopefully you're not one of those people. So now Joe Stecher with a scissors hold on Thesz. This is a +1 finisher, so he needs 5 or better to kick out. And he does not get it. And Joe Stecher, just like that, submits Thesz and hands Thesz his second loss in the promotion. And that is going to add a fatigue to him. So we've got 1, 2 there and 1, 2, 3 there. That's a 5. So 2.5 star match. Not too bad. And Stecher, former champion Joe Stecher, defeats Thesz via scissors. What is it called? Scissors hold or scissors lock? Scissors hold. SCISSORS. Hold. And fatigue info. Thesz has 2. Stecher has 3. And that's going to be a 2.5 star affair. So let's grab the 2.5 stars, paste it down there, and that was in the wrong spot. Way to go. And we're on to our main event of the evening. I do have some bonus stuff coming up after the main event here. I want to show off a little bit of the mobile thing I'm working on. I'll need to turn off the camera on the phone that I'm using to record this and plug it in to the computer, and then I can stream some of that just to kind of show you guys what it's like, since I've been kind of showing it off and working on it a little bit. So after this match, there'll be that. If you're interested, you can stay around and get a whirl. This match is for the NBBW World Junior Heavyweight title. The champion is William Muldoon. He is a 5'2", and the challenger is going to be Gorgeous George, and he is 6'3". Gorgeous George does have Sherry Dupree down there in his corner, so that is one thing to be on the lookout for if you are William Muldoon. Let's roll for some initiative and get this going. We've got a Muldoon winning out here, so the champion starts us off, and the champion with a headlock and shake, and Gorgeous George slips out before any shaking can occur. And Gorgeous George now with a body slam. This is a power move, and he does not have the power, so Muldoon takes back over pretty quickly here, and he is going to send Gorgeous George into the turnbuckle. And George is a C in the turnbuckle, but a 4 is a pretty favorable roll for any turnbuckle roll. So this is the reversal, and so William Muldoon now rolling on his turnbuckle rating, which is an A, but of course he rolls a 9, so A9. The referee orders a clean break. The opponent backs off and you step out. The opponent steps to the side, grabs a single leg, and takes you down. So Gorgeous George taking down William Muldoon and is on the attack on level 2. And now Gorgeous George going to back him into the ropes. And Muldoon has a B ropes rating. So B10. You and the opponent are locked in a clinch near the ropes. The opponent locks in an underhook and throws you hard to the mat. The opponent rolls on level 3 offense. Gorgeous George showing that he can wrestle here. And now, oh, I thought I was going to have to fish out the death jump chart, but apparently I'm not. Instead, Gorgeous George going to toss him out of the ring. And he has got a B ring rating, but B12. That is a rough one. Any 12 is a rough one. You and your opponent throw the rule book out and start exchanging fisticuffs. Both wrestlers roll disqualification. If there's no disqualification, the wrestler with better ring rating takes over. They're both B. And roll us on level 3 offense. If both have the same ring rating, you take over on level 3 offense. So, unlike the normal charts on these vintage charts, if it's a tie, it's going to Muldoon. So here we go, both wrestlers rolling DQ. Muldoon needs to avoid rolling snake eyes, and he does. Gorgeous George needs to avoid rolling 6 or lower, and he does. And now Muldoon takes over on level 3. And Muldoon with a back neck hold. This is a choice E maneuver. So let's see what we got here. A rolling knee bar. This is a level 3 move, 8 or lower plus or minus agility, which is -2, so a 6 or lower. Or a forearm uppercut, which is going to be a level 2 move, 8 or lower plus or minus power, which is +1. So 9 or lower for the level 2 move. And he does not get it. So George takes over. And Gorgeous George with a face rake with the Georgie pins. And Muldoon is going to say, get that crap out of here. And Muldoon takes over. Muldoon with a body slam on Gorgeous George, and that's going to hurt the Human Orchid. And now, Muldoon with another body slam and another hurt situation for Gorgeous George. And now, William Muldoon with a shoulder throw. And this is not going to go well. George not going to go with him. And he takes over on level 1. George with a slap right across the face of William Muldoon. And he's prancing around the ring, kind of showing himself off. A lot of peacockery here from Gorgeous George, but did that really accomplish very much? It did daze Muldoon, but will George be able to do anything with that? And Gorgeous George throws a drop kick, and the agility is tied, so that is going to work. And the drop kick is going to connect and daze William Muldoon. The champion still refusing to go down. And now, Gorgeous George gets in there and attempts to lift Muldoon for a body slam, and that is not going to work. I don't know what Gorgeous George was thinking. As William Muldoon takes over on level 2. Muldoon grabs him and body slams him on his own, and Gorgeous George is hurt. Muldoon has no problem getting Gorgeous George up for the body slam. And he has no problem getting him up for a second one. And that's going to pound George into the mat. He's still hurt. As Muldoon going back to the shoulder throw. And once again, just like last time, George doesn't go with the shoulder throw. Able to pull his arm out. And he gets on the attack. And now, Gorgeous George with a drop kick. And that is going to connect, but how much damage does it do? None. Muldoon just kind of absorbs it and watches George fall to the mat as he begins his attack. And now William Muldoon with a hammerlock and half Nelson. This is a 3-add-1 maneuver, so George is going to add 1. And he is hurt. And now, William Muldoon with the reverse crucifix. This is a choice C move. So let's see what the champion has for choices here. Duck under takedown, 3. 6 plus or minus agility, which would make that a 4. So a level 3 move for 4 or lower, or a level 2 move for, 7 or lower? So I think that's what we're going to do, 7 or lower. And he gets it. And George is rolling on level 2. And Gorgeous George able to counter. And now Gorgeous George on the attack. And George grabs a headlock. And he is going to send Muldoon off into the turnbuckle. And Muldoon rolls a 9A turnbuckle. So let's see what happens here. Muldoon, 9A. The referee orders a clean break, backs off. You step out of the corner, the opponent steps to the side, grabs an outside single leg takedown. Opponent rolls on level 2. So Gorgeous George still showing that he knows how to wrestle. And Gorgeous George locks on a gorgeous grip on William Muldoon. And Muldoon is hurt. Oop, that was a 4. And now, Gorgeous George tries a face rake with Georgie pins. And that succeeds this time, and Muldoon is dazed. And Gorgeous George tries to get under him one more time with that body slam, and that is not going to work, as Muldoon has the power advantage. Now, Muldoon, once again with a hammerlock and half Nelson on Gorgeous George. I'm going to add 1 to his pin here. And he rolled... Oh, nope. I'm reading the wrong dice. So that was... He rolled a 1. So that's a shoulder throw. And that's going to hurt Gorgeous George. It seems like every stream I mix up the dice or read from the wrong level. At least once or twice. And Muldoon goes back to the shoulder throw. It worked once. And he's tried it a whole bunch of times. He's now like 1 for 5 or something on that shoulder throw. As Gorgeous George able to reverse it again. And George on level 1. This is interference by Cherie Dupree. And she is at ringside, so it is going to work. And this is going to lead to a pinfall. As Dupree distracts William Muldoon. And Gorgeous George comes up from behind and rolls him up. He needs a 3 or better to kick out. And he gets it. Muldoon has the mechanic where he does not add a fatigue token the first time he would add a fatigue, so he is only at 2 fatigue. But Gorgeous George rolling on level 3, and he rolls a spinning toe hold, and this is a +1 finisher, so he needs 4 or better to kick out, and he gets it. And now Gorgeous George continues the assault. And Gorgeous George backing Muldoon dangerously close to the ropes. And Muldoon rolling a B5 on the out of the ring table here. Your opponent opens the ropes, but as you step through, you take down the opponent with a leg whip. The official is frustrated with your lack of sportsmanship. Roll DQ. If there is no DQ, you roll on level 3 offense. So Muldoon needs to avoid snake eyes here, and he does. Now Muldoon on level 3. And Muldoon with a body lift and throw. And this is a pinfall. I think Cherie Dupree is going to roll her distractor rating of 6 to see if she can distract the referee. She is not successful, so Gorgeous George rolling his pin. He needs 5 or less, or 5 or greater to kick out. And he just barely gets it. And Muldoon on the attack again. And Muldoon, once again, body lift and throw. He needs 6 or better. Dupree is not able to use a distractor rating again. She could roll on the manager interference chart, but then I have to bust it out, and I don't want to, so. There we go. William Muldoon locks in a 3/4 Nelson on Gorgeous George, and George is down. And Muldoon side step or a side salto on Gorgeous George. George is hurt, and I dropped the dice, which is another occurrence that happens every stream. And we've got Muldoon backing George into the turnbuckle. And George has a C turnbuckle rating, so C6. Clean break, opponent steps to the side, outside single leg, opponent rolls on level 2. So, single leg takedown by William Muldoon. Muldoon rolling on level 2 here. He attempts that shoulder throw, and once again, Gorgeous George not going to give it to him. And George slaps him right in the face again and prances around the ring, showing off his colorful attire and questionable antics. And that dazes William Muldoon, but the real question is, where will George go from here? And the answer is to a body slam that is never ever going to be successful. And William Muldoon, the hammerlock, 3 add 1. And that is going to hurt Gorgeous George. And now Muldoon with that crucifix. This is a choice C maneuver. Let's go to the choice C here. Agility is -2, so that would be a 4 or less, or a 7 or less. Obviously, we're going to go for the 7, and that actually succeeds. So now we're going to see George rolling on level 2 defense, and he is dazed as Muldoon continues his attack. And Muldoon with a flying headmare, and this is going to lead to a pin. Gorgeous George needs to roll 8 or better to kick out. And he does. Wow. Gorgeous George really showing a lot of intestinal fortitude here. And a double shoulder lock. 3 add 1. And that is going to lead to Gorgeous George being down. And William Muldoon. Once again, wrenches that double shoulder lock. That is a 3 add 1. And George is still down. Now they both roll 1s, of course. Side salto leads to a dazed Gorgeous George. We're going in the wrong direction, guys. And here we go. We've got a level 4 thing here. That is a single leg trip and control. And that is going to lead to Gorgeous George taking over on level 1 offense. Yeah, I thought that match was over too, man. I'm surprised that Gorgeous George is kicking out so much. And now Gorgeous George with a drop kick. And that is going to hurt William Muldoon. And Gorgeous George applies a hammerlock. This is a choice F. So this is going to be a bear hug and trip that's going to work on 6 or lower. And that does actually work. So Muldoon rolling on level 3. And that's going to leave him down for Gorgeous George. And George applies a figure 4 leg lock. And Muldoon able to get to the ropes, but he is hurt. And now Gorgeous George with a snap mare. And William Muldoon rolls through. And Muldoon with a hammerlock and half Nelson again. 3 add 1. Gorgeous George is getting dangerously close to not being able to kick out of anything. I don't use the KO rule that, if you end up with 12 fatigue, you automatically lose or anything. But, I mean, at 12 fatigue, you can't kick out. So, if anything is applied, the match is over. And we're rolling. I forgot to see what he did there. So he is hurt. And Gorgeous George. 3. Into the ropes. So into the ropes goes Gorgeous George. He's got an A ropes rating, A5. You and your opponent are clinched near the ropes. You sidestep the opponent and use a quick leg sweep or a sneaky rabbit punch, depending on your wrestling style. Roll on level 2 offense. So George nails him with a big rabbit punch, sneakily, and takes control of the match. And Gorgeous George grabs him up with an airplane spin, and this hurts William Muldoon. And Gorgeous George, once again, keeps spinning in that airplane spin, and Muldoon is still hurting. And now he face races him with the Georgie pins, and Muldoon knocks him out of the hands of Gorgeous George and takes control of the fight on level 1. And a flying head mare, and that's going to hurt Gorgeous George and William Muldoon. Now with a shoulder throw. And once again, Gorgeous George going to counter it. And Gorgeous George with interference by Cherie Dupree. That is going to work. So that's going to leave William Muldoon down. He was able to really club him in the back with a big knee, as Cherie Dupree distracted him. And now, here is the death jump. We're going to the top rope. William Muldoon has a B death jump rating. Gorgeous George gonna climb up, and let's see what happens. A 5B. The opponent climbs to the top, but you recover and throw him off the turnbuckle right into the ring. He goes down hard. Roll on level 3 offense. So Muldoon on level 3 here. Muldoon with a 3/4 Nelson. And that is going to leave Gorgeous George hurt. And Muldoon with a body slam. And that hurts Gorgeous George as well. And now, Muldoon with the hammerlock and 3/4 Nelson. So there it is. George is not going to be able to kick out or keep himself from tapping out if a finisher is applied. And he is hurt. And now, a reverse crucifix. This is a choice C. Part of me wishes I did play with a KO rule, because that would have ended the match. Let's see here. Level 3 works on 6 plus or minus the power rate or the agility rating. So that's 4 or 7. I should remember that by now. 4 or 7. So we're going to go with the 7. Should have gone with the 4, but it does work. He rolls on level 2. And Gorgeous George able to counter it though. And he is on level 1. Gorgeous George slaps him in the face. Muldoon says, no, not this time. Muldoon takes over on level 1. And Muldoon with a full front chancery. And Gorgeous George able to slip out of that. And Gorgeous George with a drop kick. And that is going to hurt William Muldoon. And now, George with a hammerlock, choice F. Let's see. He's going to want the power move here. 6 or better. It is a level 3 move on 6 or lower. He does not get it, so Muldoon is on the attack here. And Muldoon with a big body slam, and that's going to hurt Gorgeous George. And now Muldoon with a reverse crucifix. This is a choice C, so 7 or lower. And he gets it. And this is going to leave Gorgeous George rolling on level 2. And George able to counter. And now George fingernail rake on William Muldoon. This dazes him. And George with a big drop kick. And Muldoon able to move out of the way. And William Muldoon once again with the hammerlock and half Nelson. This is a 3 add 1. He can't add any more, but he is rolling on level 3, and this is a pin, so that is gonna do it. Gorgeous George loses a very tough match to the champion, William Muldoon, and Muldoon is able to retain his title. I believe that Muldoon has been the champion for 3 straight years at this point. So let's enter this in. Muldoon defeats Gorgeous George via, what is this? Hammerlock and half Nelson. Fatigue info. And it looks like Muldoon has 1. And Gorgeous George has, what would that be? 9? Yeah. So that was a 5-star matchup according to the fatigue. And there we go. So 5-star match for these guys. And like I said, I wanted to show off some more of the whatchamacallit. So if you give me a second, I will get that all set up. I just need to turn some stuff off here. Okay, so you should be able to hear me again. I do have that running on my phone now. I just need to load up the screen sharing software. So let's bring that up, and then it will be nice and easy. It wants me to take a picture of this. No, I don't need that. Silly ass. This is what happens when you, oh, it's the same thing, so start casting. Don't allow, I don't need audio. Allow? Alright, this is the first time I've used this to share the phone thing here, so. Alright, that appears to be working. And we'll bring up my Legends of Wrestling game here. So, this is what I've been working on when I was not streaming. This is probably the reason I wasn't streaming, because I've been working on this. I liked the idea of being able to play the game on the go. So this is, like I said, this is all on my phone. I can play this anywhere, but it's got a nice thing going on here. Let's see. I've been posting this mobile league or mobile wrestling league on the forums and on the Facebook group. So let's load up some of these cards. You can see here, like, I was able to just use scans of my cards. I didn't have to buy them all over again. I can use bootlegs. Let's see. Let's do a quick match with somebody. Who should we do? Who should we do? We will do Mark Lewin versus Mark Lewin and Johnny Valentine. Why not? So it only shows one card at a time, but Johnny Valentine is also loaded. So, and in this promotion, Mark Lewin is managed by Gary Hart. So let's load that guy up. We're going to go to the match roller. And this is what the match screen looks like, essentially. So when I'm rolling matches, you just press on the button that you want to roll. So we're going to roll initiative, so I would hit the roll 2 dice button, and it would pop up nicely. And it would let me know that Johnny Valentine has won the initiative roll. So we go ahead. Johnny Valentine rolls an arm drag, level 1. So Mark Lewin rolls dazed. Valentine with a body slam. That's a power move. You can see that the power is represented here in an easy-to-read thing, so we know that Valentine does have the power, so that is going to work. And Lewin is hurt. And now Valentine's going to throw him into the ropes. Lewin has an A ropes rating, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I've abbreviated a lot of the charts, so this, you can see this just says roll on level 3 offense. It doesn't have all the flavor text. Just makes it quicker for me to roll matches on the go. So this is Lewin countering and rolling on level 3. He rolls a choice G, so we can check what the choices are. It's either a death jump or a level 3 move. Works on 8 or lower plus or minus power, so 6 or lower. He's going to try the death jump. And Valentine is rolling his pin. And Valentine's target is 1, and he rolled an 11, so we'll just add a fatigue. The fatigue is displayed here in the corner of both cards. And so now Lewin is on level 3 offense. And Lewin with a double stomp. That's a choice C. I keep wanting to use my mouse to click on it there, but it's on the phone. Choice C, it's a level 3 move. It's going to work on 7 or lower plus or minus the agility, which is 0. And so that's probably what we're going to try, 7 or lower. He rolls a 6. That is going to work. Valentine rolls it down. Lewin, scoop, slam, and press. This has a star. You can check the cards here. In tag matches, use double gutbusters, so that doesn't really apply. And you can flip the card over by swiping left or right. You get rid of the card by swiping up or down. And so Valentine rolls on level 3. He is down. Double stomp, that's a choice C. He's going to roll 7 or lower. He rolls an 8, so Valentine takes over. Big chop to the chest, that's a 3. He's hurt. Into the ropes. So we're going to roll on the ropes. Opponent rolls on level 2, so there we go. Into the ropes. And, just for the sake of showing things off, I'm not really trying to have like a full-on match. Let's say Valentine rolled something that's going to pin him, and you want to roll on Gary Hart's Distractor or his special chart that he has for other wrestlers. You can go ahead and hit the roll on the chart button, and it will roll on Gary Hart's chart and tell you what to do, and it tracks how many times you've done that. If you wanted to roll the Distractor, you could do that. He has failed, and it will track how many times you've done that. Let's go back to Mark Lewin. Let's say Lewin has a special thing where in versus light heavyweights or something, his ropes rating goes down for whatever reason. You can select any of like their stats from this little menu here and use the plus or minus buttons to affect them. So if you watch Lewin's ropes here in this area where he's currently got an A, if I hit the minus button, it'll go to a B. If I hit it again, it'll drop to a C. You can raise it up. So basically you can do things that affect the card stats, injuries, that kind of thing, and the application will keep up with that, so everything will it'll be rolling on the right thing, which is one of the big issues that people have with online, where if a guy is injured or if something happens where their rating changes for one match or something, then suddenly when you hit their ropes or whatever, it's not rolling on the right on the right level, and so this avoids that. And let's say we want to, let's say for the sake of the thingy, All right, there we go. Valentine hit the Atomic Skull Crusher, won the match. Hey Al, you just missed pretty much everything except for me showing off the mobile app here. But, there's always the video on demand or whatever it is. So would you like to record the outcome of this match? You can say yes. It'll give you the what happened in the match down here. So if you need to check anything, you can scroll through that. I'm going to add a test event because I don't want this to be on any of my actual events. So we'll go test. And then you can set the date of the event and all of that wonderful thing. So this happened on April Fool's Day of, we'll say, 2087. Why not? And you can set the location of the event. I usually get cheeky with it and put stuff like the couch, because that's where I happen to be sitting at the time. So, and then you add, and you can add events or matches to this event. So let's say that Johnny Valentine beat Mark Lewin. All right, you take care, Al. Feel free to leave a comment later if you want. But yeah, and then you can enter how it ended. We're lying and saying it ended with an Aerosmith, apparently. An atomic. I don't type very well on the cell phone. Skull Crusher. Atomic Skull Cap. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for, so we'll just go ahead punch this in with my shitty tap typing. We'll give it a rating of 2 stars. Then you could add match notes. We don't really have anything to say. It was a test match. Hit OK. And then if you go back out to the main menu, you can check the event history. You can swipe between cards or use the nice little thingy down here. So there's our test match. I don't need this in my database, so we're going to go ahead and delete this. Yes, that's fine. We'll go to main menu. It'll track wins and losses. So if I left that in there, it would have Mark Lewin at 7-2. You can filter them from dates, which is kind of nice, or filter them by card name. So like if you're running multiple promotions, you want to filter your win or your win-loss ratings by one promotion. You could just enter, like let's say you called, you always used MWL for Mobile Wrestling League in all of your results for one, and then the other one was called something like, I don't know, Northern Pacific Wrestling or something, and NPW. You could filter for that, and it would only show you those results. You can filter out tag teams. That's kind of nice. But yeah, you can set it up so that only certain cards are, like if I select the MWL roster in that card management when I'm setting up a match, only these cards are shown, so I don't have to scroll through all of my cards because that's a big pain in the ass. And who wants to do that, right? And it keeps track of titles, so in the Mobile Wrestling League, Thesz won it. He's made one defense against Mark Lewin. But yeah, group editor, this is like your tag teams and stuff. You got Demolition here with Demolition Axe, Demolition Smash, and Crush. And you can edit and remove those. They'll show up. I showed you the tag team rankings and all of that wonderful stuff. But that's basically it. It's pretty nice here. I've been enjoying that, and that's what I've been working on instead of streaming matches. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this off. Yes, end the session, and we can go ahead and stop streaming there. I don't need a survey, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show that off and roll those matches. So now that everything is done, I'll probably be back doing some I was calling them non-canon matches. I'll probably be back doing that either tomorrow, Friday, or either Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure which day I'll be free. It'll be one of those days, though. So I'll be back streaming more tabletop stuff on that day. I will make sure to post it, in the Facebook group and in the Discord when I'm doing the stream. That looks really cool. I could use that during meetings at work. Yeah, no, it'd be good for that. I use it when I'm waiting at doctor's appointments, or I was at a baseball game recently, and while I was waiting in line for the snack bar, I was rolling matches. That was pretty nice. It's definitely been really fun to just kind of be able to, I'm sitting on the couch watching movies with my wife or something, and, the movie is not moving me because frequently movies, especially newer movies, are not very good. So I'll have to do something else to entertain myself. And so it's been good for that, or before bed, or, it's been a bathroom companion, and I'll just leave it at that, at the risk of being too graphic. So yeah, it's been a really cool little thing. I really would like to make it public. I've said basically for a while now that I won't campaign for it, but hopefully they'll see that there's some value in it, and
I'm more than willing to work with people to let fans use it. Yeah, a Tupelo concession stand brawl, but more literal, I guess. But yeah, so that's basically what I've been up to, and why I haven't been streaming matches as often as I'd like. I know that I've been saying that I'm going to do 4.9 for like the last, I don't know how long it's been. It's been about a month, I think, since before Galacticon. So, but yeah, now we're back at it. I did 4.9. I just got to put together 4.10, and we'll do that. John Wick is the only movie in the last several years that I like. The John Wick movies were pretty decent. I mean, there's been other good ones. I mean, Color Out of Space wasn't bad. There's been a couple of others, but that Black Phone movie looks pretty decent. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard good things about the new Predator movie. I don't know. I didn't like the last Predator movie very much, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever. But yeah, I prefer older movies as well. My favorite movie is Taxi Driver, and that was from what, like 1972 or 75 or something. So yeah, older movies, where it's at. Anywho, before I ramble on anymore, I need to eat some dinner, and I've got to get up early in the morning for, getting kids on the bus and all that jazz. So I am going to cut this off now. It's been an hour and a half. Thank you for spending it with me, and I will be back either Friday or Saturday evening with some more Legends of Wrestling action. Thank you, and all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later.